when a child is misbehaving, and maybe we'll talk about that later, or demonstrating some challenging behaviors, the parent just wants to kind of fix the child or correct them. And that will not work, or very rarely works, if the child doesn't first feel a deep sense of safety and connection in that conversation, in that household, in that environment. And it's hard as a parent, especially when a child does something that, pushes your buttons or winds you up, or it's a repetitive behavior that you've tried to support the child with a million times. It feels like, you want to just kind of, fix them or change that behavior. But we must force ourselves as adults in this situation to connect before we correct. And what that looks like is often just, managing your own emotions, being willing to acknowledge that, I'm feeling a little bit stressed right now, but I'm going to really force myself to love this child in this moment, to hear their side of the story, to regulate my emotions, so that, whether it's a physical hug or a metaphorical hug that you're giving that child in that situation, whatever's occurring, they feel safe, connected, and they feel a deep sense of belonging first before anything else happens.
Yeah, thanks, David, because that connection before correction is something like a golden rule in parenting. I always say that, that is what we need to follow. But many a times as parents, we fail because that moment of anger, we don't feel like regulating your emotions, because co-regulation is so important to connect with the child.
Yeah.
And when your amygdala is not connecting well with the prefrontal cortex, you are also angry and the child is also upset. And this together actually create that issue. So as parents, we need to remind ourselves constantly that, when the child's brain is totally in that unrest, that mood, you cannot, whatever you say, whatever logic you try to impart, that won't work. So we need to calm down, and also we need to regulate the child's emotions. Once the child is back to the normal, connected with the logical brain, you can have that logical conversations. So this is, I as a parent of 3 kids, I constantly remind myself that, when the child is shouting, you are also raising the voice, it's not going to help. Once you come back to the normal mode, when both are like calm down, you can have a conversation. And also sometimes as parents, we feel like giving a hug to the child, or you understand that the mistake is on your side, just asking, saying a sorry, it's sometimes, it won't go, like, it's little bit hesitation happens that side. Actually, we need to shed all those layers, because ultimately what we need, the well-being of the child. And we all need peace at home. We